So I have a story for you. About 36 hours ago, John was coming home from work on his bicycle, and the light that he wears on his backpack was blinking, and it was blinking brightly against the black door, and he opened the door like he does every day, but usually I'm here, and I was not. I was actually grocery shopping at the time. So he opens the door, and without realizing it, the cat escaped. So he didn't know that the cat escaped. He didn't see her because of the blinking lights, and she's been itching to get outside recently. So she just made her way out there, and all the while I was grocery shopping. And I came home around 7. John had gotten home around 6:30. And I see him sort of looking around. I'm like, did the cat get out? And he said, well, I think that she might have gotten out when I came home. And I was like, oh, crap. So that was like a half an hour ago. She had been out for a half an hour at that point. So we're looking all around for her. Can't find her anywhere. She's nowhere. Nowhere. I'm scouring the neighborhood, freaking out, like going into full-blown panic mode. She's quite annoying, but I do love her a whole heck of a lot. And the thought of not having her around, pretty devastating. So anyway, scour the neighborhood to no avail. I make dinner, go back outside, nothing. And at this point, I'm just like a blob of horrible, awful sadness. And I decided to go to bed because I just couldn't handle it. So I fell asleep. I was like 9. And then I slept for 12 long hours. And woke up the next morning and decided that, of course, I needed to go out and look for her again. I was hopeful that she would return during the night. So we left the kitchen window open a little bit, left the front window open with the screen so we could hear her meowing, left her food bowl out. Of course, the little rapscallion did not return in the middle of the night. Okay, so yesterday morning I go out and look for her. I have her bottle of treats. I'm shaking the treats all over the place. Nothing. She's not coming. I don't see her anywhere. I'm in the backyard shaking her treats. That has gotten her inside before, but this time, nothing. So I emailed Nif, and she very generously said she'd come over and help me flyer the neighborhood. So she came over. We hung up flyers all over the place, and I was calling for her. Now, here's the main problem with the poor cat. We didn't name her, and she still doesn't have a name. And so we're running around the neighborhood like crazy people yelling, kitty, 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 come here, kitty, because she doesn't have a name. It would have made a lot more sense if we could have said, like, hey, named cat, where are you? But instead we had to just go, kitty, kitty, kitty. It was pathetic and sad. So we look around, nothing, can't find her. I go back inside and wait the rest of the day out, hoping that maybe she'll come back, just show up on our doorstep, I don't know. And nothing. John gets home, nothing. She's nowhere to be found. Nowhere to be found. I make dinner again. At this point, I'm just, like, almost have given up. I was so sad. And I decided to enlist the help of one of her squeaky toys. So there I am, running around the neighborhood, hugely pregnant, with a squeaky toy, a flashlight, and a laser level in hopes to lure her home. So I am walking around for about 10 minutes, and I don't see her anywhere. And then I decide to go back down our street again. And I've got her squeaky toy and her laser level, and I go down the street about like 7 or 8 houses from where we live. And I'm squeaking her toy and yelling, kitty, kitty, come here. And all of a sudden, there she is. Now, she's behind this fence door. And this fence door has an opening that's like this big, and I could not get in to grab her because, well, I could get in, but she wouldn't let me grab her, and if I had even grabbed her, I wouldn't have been able to get her out this tiny little hole. So there I am, laser level, squeaky toy, flashlight, seeing her, trying to get her, she's trying to get to me. I burst out sobbing. Now, this wasn't just like a little, I'm sad, I'm going to cry now. This was it was hysterical. I'm pretty sure that it was hysterical. So I'm sobbing, and I can't get her, and I'm screaming John's name as loud as I possibly can in hopes that he'd hear me through the window that was open this much. And a neighbor comes out, because of course the entire neighborhood can hear me except for John. And there I am, I'm like, can you just go to the cat in the house, my house, can you get John? And the neighbor kid was looking at me like, oh my god, who is this crazy pregnant lady and what is she doing? So I'm hysterical trying to get the cat, and poor neighbor boy goes down to our house and gets John. And John comes out and he's looking at me, and I'm hysterical still. The neighbor that actually owned this fence store finally comes out and he's like, "Can I help you with something?" And I was like, "Oh, there's a, do you have a, to open the," again, looking at me like I'm a crazy person. And John comes down and sees that I'm a mess, of course, and sort of explains to them what's happening. Like, that's our lost cat. We haven't seen her in an entire day. Don't mind her. She's not crazy. She's just emotional. So I finally get the cat. I had to chase her a little bit. She wanted to run away, of course, little rapscallion. But I got her. And I was holding her, and I finally was able to calm down a little bit, and I said thank you to the neighbors, and I apologized for being so sobby. But the kitty's back, and she's just behind here. I'm going to grab her. Come here. Come here. So here she is, safe and sound. We're not sure, she might be getting raped because she's not fixed because she's so young still. And we won't know until she's, I don't know, bulging at the sides if she's preggers or not. Are you trying to be like me? Are you trying to be like me? So yeah, that was our fun story of the past 2 days. Rapscallion, she's a little rascal. She's a teenager now, so she's like, I can do what I want, and I'm going to do it when I want. And I don't care if you're upset. I don't care if you're devastated. I'm just going to do what I want. Wow. We're glad you're home. Okay, I just thought I'd share that fun story. Bye.